Hey guys, today we're going to be working on a small apartment build. This didn't take that long, maybe because I picked one of the smaller apartments, but I think it'll be interesting just to kind of redo some of these apartments. I never really liked the way they sat kind of like stock from the game. We're going to be working on the Culpeper apartments from Myshuno, and on this particular unit, that's the one we're going to be touching right now. Here's one last look at the unit before I promptly bulldoze it, including the walls, because we rebuilt everything on this one. So when I started this, I didn't know that you couldn't upload apartments to the thing for me to share it with people to download. So you can't. That being said, there's a lot of custom content in here, but I didn't bother listing it all out because I can't share this one with you guys. But you can watch me shove stuff in here. A lot of this stuff is custom, and I specifically got it to do kind of a kitchen build. There are some things that end up changing, like that little kind of like step stool looking thing to the left does not function like a step stool, which I found out when I was playtesting the apartment. It actually is like a seat, so I can get to anything that I put on that counter. So I ended up actually taking that out of the build before I kind of did a final save and did the screenshots and all. cannot even begin to tell you why I started building the bedrooms without walls, because I usually don't do it that way. I usually build the walls and get like the layout working and then put the furniture in, but for some odd reason I decided to do this the other way around. I mean, it still worked out, but you know, here we are. This bedroom is actually fine. The little like kids room in my mind that I built next to it in just a second, that one I had to move some stuff around because you couldn't get past the stuffed animal. So like if you're like super paying attention, you'll notice that like in the build video, like in this part, the speed build, some of the two like playthings in the kids room are in a different position, and that's why, because you can get to some of that stuff. But either way, it did end up working out. It is a tiny room, but this isn't that big of an apartment, so like it would totally work for like a small kid. And I did put some stuff in the living room for the kid to play with too, so it's not like the end of the world that this kid has a small bedroom, and I kept it kind of small for the office that you'll see me put in, so I could have space for that in the office, in the apartment area. Here we are getting to the office area. It is not big at all, just like the kids' room, but it's big enough for what you need. So I tried to put something in here. Like, I didn't want to make it a separate room. I was trying to keep from closing the apartment off too much, which is why like later you'll see I kind of fiddle with the kitchen a bit too, because it's not that big of a space, but if you put walls everywhere, it makes everything look a lot smaller than it is. Or that's probably not right, not look smaller than it is, but it just makes it seem a little bit more claustrophobic, I guess. If you put in like, you know, half walls and things like that, it just makes the space seem bigger and, you know, lets more light in from the windows, so it's not just lighting like one room at a time, that kind of thing. So this ended up not being a separate room, and I think that was a good decision. It's just kind of divided off with like a little divider behind it, so it's a little separate area. It is separate from like the main area, but not by a wall, so you still have that little bit of privacy if you need it in an office area.
If I
Okay, so the living room, I just tried to keep it really comfortable. So like the things that are in here aren't like the most expensive things. Like the couch, I picked that one because it really just looks like it's lived on. Like somebody has spent some time on that couch, but it's not all like gross, you know. I wanted it to be comfortable, like, you know, not like, you know, your rich aunt's room that like everything is white so you can't go in there because, you know, you might get something dirty, but she has a whole room that like nobody's allowed in. Not like that. I did clutter it up a little bit, but not overwhelmingly so. I try to keep it simple. Some of the plants I put under the shelf are probably meant to be outdoor plants, but I don't care because they look really nice here. But it looks nice. It looks lived in. Like I can move a sim in here and have them not bring anything with them, and they would just be like at home. Like that was the idea. It's a small space. It wasn't going to take me that long to clutter it. So, you know, just to make it comfortable. Okay, we're in the home stretch here, so this is like finishing touches, floors, walls. I bulldozed the walls, but like the ones that were left still had the wallpaper up from the old like layout, so it changes at really odd places. So ended up fixing that, putting some stuff on the walls, changing where I had the washer and dryer, little stuff like that, kind of like the last stretch on the inside before I did something with the tiny balcony outside. And then that was kind of the end of it. So there's not a lot on this balcony because there's not a lot of space on this balcony. So it's basically just kind of a little leisure area. There's a couple of lounges that I put out here, and you can get to both of them. And then I put a couple pots out here, like, you know, maybe Sim wants to grow some flowers or something like that. So yeah, this oh, I love these little wind chimes. They're like one of my favorite things in the game, which sounds really weird, but it does. And that telescope does not work. Apparently this balcony counts as a room, and it only works on the outside. So there's that. And here we have the final shots of the build. Thank you so much for joining me for this speed build. If you liked it, please go ahead and drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so that you'll be notified next week when I post my next speed build. Have a great week.